Hello there. So it's just me today, and we're going to be talking about conversations. So these are the private conversations that you're going to have with people who are interested in what it is that you do. And we're going to start really, really simple today and just go through kind of a conversation, a typical conversation flow. Because I find once you kind of get your flow, because all of these conversations are not identical by all means. Like, please do not think that every single conversation is going to be the exact same and you can use the exact same wording with every single woman. You want to make them very specific and tailored to that person, but there's a certain flow to it that I found in the 5 years that I've been coaching that really, really works well. And I've been using this flow for years, probably 4.5 years, once I finally kind of figured out what works best for me. And so I want to encourage you to find out what works best for you, but start here. Start with this. So what we're going to do is we're going to start first by talking about someone approaches you and they're interested in what you're doing. Maybe you show a before and after. You did your I'm a coach post yesterday. You have, people see you in real life, you're out and about and people are like, what are you doing? You look so good, or you have so much more energy, or I can tell you're just happy. What is happening? One thing that I always encourage, so the first thing to start with is just ask them questions. And that's going to seem really, really odd and really, really unnatural, because usually when someone says, I'm interested, we want to blurt out everything. And we actually call that word vomiting. And one thing that you have to remember is that people want you to be interested in them. Yes, they want to know what you're doing. They want to know what's working for you, but they first want to know that you care about them, not that, oh, she just cares about selling me something, or she just cares about telling me about herself. So one thing I always kind of try to do is flip the script just a little bit at the very beginning. So if someone's like, hey, tell me more about what you're doing, or even if they jump in with, what does this cost? Or if they say, you look so good, what have you been up to? Give a really, really short and sweet answer. Be like, oh my gosh, so I've been changing up my eating a little bit, and I've been doing these workouts from home. So you see how that's really, really short and simple. Like, it's not all this like beach body mumbo jumbo. Very short and sweet, one sentence. And then ask them a question. So then flip it onto them and say, like, are you wanting to work on your health and fitness too? Or are you wanting to work on your health, or whatever it is that's kind of similar to you? For me, it was like my energy and wanting to like lean out. So like, are you wanting to do the same thing? What are you looking to accomplish? That's my number one question I always ask. What are you looking to accomplish? I find that most people don't think about their goals right off the bat. So I think, what do you want to accomplish is a really non-intrusive thing that maybe they have thought about. They have considered, man, I'd really like to feel this way, or I'd like to look this way, or I'd like to lose 10 pounds is a really common thing. So I'd like to lose some weight and tone up is what I hear all the time. Or I want to gain energy, or I want to have the energy to play with my kids, whatever it might be. But you have to ask them that question. So someone's interested, the first thing you do is say, really short, one sentence in your own words of what you've been up to, and then ask them what they'd like to accomplish, and listen. If this conversation is in text or if it's in Messenger, really pay attention to the words that she's using, and you're going to use those words later on in the conversation. But if you're having this conversation one-on-one, listen to what she's saying. Don't be thinking about what you're going to say next. But let's move on to what you're going to say next. So let's say she says, I just want to lose like 10 pounds. I just want to like have energy to like get through the day and not want to have to nap. Be like, oh my gosh, I can so relate. You want to kind of relate to what they say, and then ask the question, what's holding you back? So think about like, what's the barrier? So that's what they want. And then what is holding them back? So you have to know like kind of like what the aspiration is, and then what's causing them to not accomplish that just yet. Okay. And this is where hopefully they get a little bit vulnerable. They're willing to open up a lot. They might say, man, I just feel like my eating is so off and I just cannot stay consistent with workouts. Okay. This is another place for you to relate to them. So it's a really great time for you to say, I've been there. I totally get it. I feel you. Like, this is how I used to feel, in a really short and simple way. Always make sure that your responses are short, sweet, and to the point. Okay. So relate to them, but do it in a really like precise way. So you're not just constantly sending them these like big long messages. Okay. And then be like, one thing that has really helped me out is these accountability groups, and maybe say, would you want to know more about that? You could go ahead and explain what an accountability group is. Some of the wording that I like to use is, for the Fit Tribe, we check in each day on workouts and food in a private fitness app. We share weekly meal plans you can use to get recipes from. Does this sound like something you would like? Okay, so short, sweet, to the point. Just kind of like what we do, what they get from it. Does it sound like something you'd like? You'll notice that every single thing that I say in this conversation flow ends in a question. Okay, and if she says, yeah, I love that. That sounds so awesome. Okay, and then explain what she would get with the Fit Tribe. So the last step of this is saying, so the Fit Tribe includes the following, and these are the words that I use. I really try to tailor them to what they said they want to accomplish, what their barriers are. But I say 12 months of workouts along with a calendar of what to do each day, 30 meals of a nutrient-dense shake that's been a game changer for my energy and cutting out craving junk, weekly meal plans shared each Friday with recipes, daily check-ins on workouts and nutrition, as well as kind of some top tips to help with your eating habits, gaining energy, and toning up. So you can already see there that I'm trying to use their words back to them. And then I usually throw out the cost because I'm not ashamed to say what it is that it costs. I'll say this bundle is $160. But if there's a deal going on, you always want to let them know. So I might say, but in May, it's $140. Plus, I have a $10 code on top of that, because if you're a new coach, you got those $10 codes that you can send to 3 people each month. And then here is the best question that you need to ask. So at the end of that, I say, if you don't have any questions, I'd love to send you the registration to get started. Okay, assume that they're going to say yes. Assume that they're going to go, oh yeah, I would totally love to do that. If they have questions, they can ask those questions at that point. Okay, so if they say yes, then you move into gathering the information that you need for their share cart. So you say, yeah, let's do this. I'm so excited that we get to do this together. All I need is your email and your flavor of nutrient-dense shake you'd like, and then maybe give, a recommendation. I always say I love chocolate or vanilla vegan. Some people like cafe latte. Just let me know which one you think you'd rather have. And then after that, you're going to create their share cart. And I'm going to send you information on how to create their share cart. But basically what a share cart is just a cart. So you've shopped online where you create a cart and you can actually email their cart to them. So everything's kind of picked out for them so that they don't get overwhelmed with all the different options. I usually do just the Beachbody On Demand and Shakeology Challenge Pack, unless there's, a new program coming out or something like that, that it's a better deal to add in something. But for the most part, that's kind of the bundle that I start out with. And then I have some directions of how to, get into your share cart. And then last but not least, once you send that share cart to them, what I recommend is that you have them sign up as, I call them a VIP member or a coach. And here's what I say. Okay, checkout email is sent. I have signed you up as a VIP discount member. It'll look like you're signing up as a coach at first. I sign up all my clients this way just so that you can utilize the 25% off on future orders. This membership is free for the first month. Set a reminder for a month from now to decide if you want to keep it or cancel it. I can walk you through this. And that's it. That's a really simple flow of someone that is interested. We're going to talk later about how to reach out to people, how to keep the conversation going if it's kind of gone dead a little bit, all of those little things. But I wanted to get this out so that you can kind of see what the flow of asking questions, relating to them, talking about the challenge group, explaining the bundle, and then sending them the share cart. So it's a really simple flow, and so that they don't get overwhelmed and you get the information that you need to be able to provide them with the resources they need. So hopefully you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll talk to you later.